And that question is going to be this. We surveyed 100 furries and asked them, do you think people who claim to have seen UFOs are crazy? How many people do you think said yes? People who have seen UFOs are crazy.
More so.
Out of 100 people, how many do you think?
I'm not sure. 50, 60.
All right. Well, give me one number.
I'll say 50.
All right. You say 50 people out of 100 think that people who have seen UFOs are crazy. Atreo, do you think that number is going to be higher or lower than 50 people?
Lower.
Lower than 50 people. If it is lower than 50 people, you'll go ahead and play the cards. Otherwise, Leah will have a chance at her cards. And let's take a look at the answer to that. Pull up my survey here. The actual number of people who said that yes, they think people who have seen UFOs are crazy is 17. It is in fact lower than 50 people. So I believe you said lower, correct? All right, we're going to go to your cards. Your first base card is a 3.
Oh.
Now, you can change that card, but a 3 is pretty good. Deuces are low, aces are high. So do you want to change that card or keep that card?
I'm going to keep it.
All right. Do you think the next card is going to be higher or lower than a 3?
Higher.
Higher than a 3. Let's see if it is higher than a 3. It is a 9. Whoops.
Oh, a 9.
A 9. All right. A little bit in the middle of the road. You can freeze at any time, or you can try and continue across the board. If you are wrong, you'll go back to the 3. If you're right, you'll continue. Do you want to freeze or do you want to play on that?
I'm going to keep going.
All right. Do you think the next card is going to be higher or lower than a 9?
Higher.
Higher than a 9. It is 7. It is not higher than a 9, and that takes you back to the 3. Now, Leah, you get a free play at your cards. You cannot change this card, but you have a 6. Do you think the next card is going to be higher or lower than that 6?
Lower.
Lower than the 6. Let's take a look. Going against the odds here, but it may pay off. The next card is a 3.
Wow.
It is lower than the 6. Do you want to keep? Do you want to continue or freeze on that?
I'll continue.
All right. Do you think the next card is higher or lower than the 3?
Higher.
Higher than the 3. It's a queen. It is higher. Do you want to continue?
Sure.
All right. Higher or lower than the queen?
Lower.
Lower than the queen. It's a 6. Ooh. All right. Tough decision. Do you want to go with that?
Sure.
All right.
Whoa.
Risking it here. Do you think it's going to be higher or lower than that 6?
I'll say higher.
If it is higher than the 6, you win game 1. Is it higher than the 6? It is! It is!
Nice.
And Leah has won game 1. Congratulations. 100 people. Do you ever worry that certain kinds of art will appear on your smartphone screen? Atreyu, how many people out of 100 said no? They never really worry what kind of art pops up on their smartphone screen.
50.
50. Leah, do you think the number is going to be higher or lower than 50?
Higher.
All right. If that number is higher than 50, people who worry that certain kinds of things will come up on their screen, you'll get to play the cards, otherwise Atreyu will. The actual number of people who said, no, I don't actually worry about the kinds of things that pop up on my screen is 28. So it is lower. Atreyu, you get control of the board first. All right.
Higher.
We haven't even seen your first card yet. Let's take a look at your base card and then we'll see if you want a queen.
Oh.
Now, that's a pretty good card. Do you think the next, do you want to go with it? And
I'm gonna continue.
all right, what, higher or lower than the queen?
Lower.
All right. Is it lower than the queen? On my card here. Eh. It is lower than the queen, a deuce.
Good thing it didn't go higher.
Going higher than the deuce. It's a 7.
Oh.
That's a bit middle of the road. Do you want to go ahead and freeze on that? Now, if you freeze, we will go on to the next question. She doesn't get a free play of her cards.
And then what happens after that?
So after that, if you get control of the board again, you can change that card on your turn to try and get a better card to guess off on the next.
Let's freeze.
All right, we're going to freeze right there on the 7. They surveyed 100 senior citizen women and asked, do you still have a piece of your wedding cake? How many people, Atreyu, do you think said that they actually still have a piece of their wedding cake? And I apologize, it's going to be, you get the question where we trade off. So, how many senior citizen women said yes, they still have a piece of their wedding cake?
50.
Okay. She thinks it's 50 people, 50 senior citizen women out of 100. Do you think that number is going to be higher or lower than 50?
Lower.
Lower. All right. If it is lower, you get control of the board again. Otherwise, she gets control. The actual number of senior citizen women who said, yes, they have a piece of their wedding cake still is 33. So it is lower. And you get control of the board. You've got a 7. Do you want to change that card?
Yes.
All right. That 7 is going to become an ace.
Oh.
All right. Do you think that next card is going to be higher or lower than the ace?
Hopefully it better be lower.
All right. Let's see if it is lower. Is it lower than the ace? It's a king.
Oh.
Wow.
Slightly lower. What do you think?
Do the lower.
You're going to go lower on that last one. If it is lower, then you will have the game 2 and tie it up. Is it lower than the king? It is another king.
Oh,
So what
man.
happens there is it's a push. You're going to go back to the ace, and she's going to get a free chance at the cards. It can be really tough sometimes.
Can you call
Alright.
the same?
What's that?
Can you call the same?
No, it's just higher or lower in this version of the game. All right, Leah, your card you're working off of is a queen. Do you think the next card is going to be higher or lower than the queen?
Lower.
All right, let's see if it's lower than the queen. It is a 5.
Oh.
What do you think?
Higher.
You're going to go higher on the 5. Is it higher than the 5? It's a jack. What do you think?
Lower.
Lower. Let's see if it's lower than the jack. It's another jack.
Oh,
A double push.
A double push, and that'll send you back to your bases
Card.
trail. We asked 100 furries, have you ever made animal noises in public accidentally? How many people said yes, they have made animal noises accidentally?
85.
85 out of 100. Leah, do you think that number is going to be higher or lower than 85?
Lower.
Lower than 85. The actual number of people who said yes, they have accidentally made animal noises, I'm guilty, is 59. So it is actually lower. You're going to get control of the board. You've got that queen. What do you think?
Lower.
We're going to see if that is, the next card's lower than the queen. It is a deuce. It is lower. What do you think?
Higher.
All right. Let's see if the next question, or the next card is higher than the deuce. It is a 7.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Do you want to higher, lower, or freeze?
I'll go with higher.
All right, pushing on. Higher than the 7. Let's see. It is a king.
Ooh.
Very good. All right.
Lower.
If it is lower, you will take game 2 and win the set. Is it lower than the king? It's a queen. Congratulations, you won both games.
Thank you.
You're going to go on. Thank you so much for playing, Atreyu. The cards were not kind to you there, but good playing on your part. All right, we're going to take a trip to the money cards with Leah real quick, right after I reset the board and get my other board out $100 to play with. Now the object of this is once again to guess higher or lower across the board. And you're going to make wagers on each guess. $50 minimums. If you get to the end of this row, we'll give you another $200 up here. $50 minimums, and up at the top is our big bet. There you must bet at least half of your total up there. In this game, pushes do lose, so that's an unlucky thing if you get there, but hopefully you avoid those. And you can change your card at the beginning of each line.
All right.
All right, so we're going to give you $200. It's coming up. $200. And are you ready to play?
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at your base card and see what we've got. You're starting with a 3. All right, so $50 minimum bets. You have $200 right now. Give me a wager, and I presume you don't want to change that card.
Right.
All right. All right. So how much do you want to bet, and which way do you think it's going to go?
50 and higher.
All right. $50 higher than the 3. You've got a 7. You're up to $250. Do you think the next card is going to be higher or lower, and how much?
Higher and 50.
All right. Another $50 higher than the 7. It is a 4. You lose $50. That brings you back down to $200. But you've got a better card now on the board. What do you think about the next card?
Higher.
All right. And how much?
Same.
$50? All right. $50 higher than the 4. It is a 10. You have $250. We'll bring that card up here and give you 200 more. That's $450. All right. Next round of cards. You've got a base 10. You can change it if you like.
I will go lower and 50.
All right. Betting $50 lower than the 10. It is a 9.
Wow.
You have 500. What do you think about this next card?
Higher.
Higher and $50?
Yeah.
All right. $50 higher than the 9?
Yeah.
All right. Going a little bit against the odds, but sometimes that pays off. Is it higher than the 9? No, it is. It is lower. But you've got a 5 now, and you've got $450 to work with. What do you think on that next card?
I'll say higher and same.
All right. Higher and $50? All right. You don't have to, you can bet higher if you want to. So, higher than the 5?
Yeah.
Is it higher? It is also lower. So that gets you down to $400. Now this is your big bet. You must bet at least half, which is $200. You have a base of 3. And man, the board's just been all red cards so far. You must bet at least 200. What do you think on this next card?
I think higher.
All right, and how much do you want to wager?
Just 200.
Just the bare minimum. All right. If this is higher than the 3, you're going to walk away with $600. Is it higher?
Oh, wow.
It is a 3.
I would have bet it all
Oh man, well, you've got $400 total. Thank you so much for playing. And that concludes the first game. We asked 100 furries if there were a magic pill that would keep you from being sad and happy, would you take it? How many people out of 100 said yes, they would take a pill that would keep them from being sad and happy? 30? All right. Clips thinks it's 30 people. Sprinkles, do you think that number is higher or lower than 30?
I thought that pill already existed. I thought it was called Zoloft. I'm going to say higher.
Higher than 30.
Yes.
All right. If it is higher than 30, you'll get to go to your cards. Otherwise, Eclipse will go to his. The actual number of people who said if there were a magic pill that would keep them from being happy and sad, and they would take it, is 11.
Oh, wow.
It was significantly lower.
Dang.
All right, Eclipse, that means we go to your cards, and we start you out with a base card of a queen.
Ooh.
All right. Do you like that card? All right. What do you think? Next card is going to be lower? All right. Let's see if it's lower than the queen. It is a deuce.
Oh, jeez.
All right. What do you think? Next card is going to be higher, he says. Let's see if it's higher. It is an ace.
Wow.
Doing really good so far with the cards. You've got an ace. What do you think on the next card? It's going to be lower. I don't blame you for thinking that. Let's see. It is.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Bet it all.
All right. If you get this next card, you're going to sweep the first game on the first question. Eclipse, what do you think? Higher than the deuce.
Please be a 2.
Are you sure about that?
Please be a 2.
If it's higher than the 2, you will have won game 1. It is
2.
a king. King is higher, and you have won the first game.
Wow.
Wow.
Pretty quick first game. Sprinkles, since we didn't even play your cards, we're going to keep those cards on the board. How many policewomen out of 100 said that they would give their own mother a ticket?
Wait.
5, just 5? 50. 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 40. Okay. 40 policewomen out of 100. Sprinkles, do you think that number is higher or lower than 40?
What's the question again?
The question, 100 policewomen, if they caught their mom speeding, would they give their mom a ticket?
I guess it would depend on how grounded they are. I would have to say that number is a little higher.
A little higher than 40. All right. The actual number of policewomen who said they would give their own mother a ticket is 21.
Oh!
Surprising. I don't know what's up with that.
Wow.
But Eclipse, that means you get control of the board. You've got an 8 and you can change that. Do you want to change? All right. We're going to change that card. And that 8 becomes a 6.
Ooh.
Still a bit wishy-washy, but what do you think is the next, higher or lower? Higher. All right. Is it higher than the 6? It's another 6.
man.
All right. So you're going to get to keep that first 6, but Sprinkles, you get to play on this 4. Do you think the next card's higher or lower?
Gonna go higher.
All right. Going with the odds, see if it's higher than the 4. It is a jack.
I'm gonna go lower.
All right. Lower than the jack, it's a king.
Ah!
And we both have two losses there. We'll go ahead and fill in the cards. 100 furries.
Oh, goody.
Do you like to share artwork of your character with family members? How many people out of 100 said yes, they love to share artwork of their character with family members?
That's a tough one for me, seeing as how I don't do art at all. I'm going to say 57.
57 out of 100.
Yeah.
Eclipse, do you think that number is going to be higher or lower than 57? Lower. All right. If it's lower than 57, you'll get to play. Otherwise, Sprinkles gets to play on his cards. The actual number of people who said, yeah, they love to share character art of their character with family members is 34.
I was closer.
So, you said lower on that?
Darn.
So we're going to go ahead and play your cards. You've got a 6. You can change that if you'd like. Changing that 6. And that 6 becomes a 7.
Oh no.
I thought I had bad luck.
Womp womp.
All right. What do you think on this next one? Is it going to be higher or lower than the 7? Higher. All right. Let's see if it's higher than the 7. It is an 8.
Nice. There we go.
Oh, no.
There we go.
All right. What do you think? Higher, lower, freeze? Lower. All right. You were very observant. All right. Lower than the ace is an 8.
Oh.
We're going to freeze right there.
Oh.
And that puts us into sudden death. Now, this is very important. Eclipse, it's going to be your question. Whoever wins this question has the option of playing the board. Now, what that means is you can try and play your cards to the end, or you can force your opponent to play their cards and see if they lose on the turn of a card. So it's very important to get control of the board to see which way you want to play. All right. Eclipse, it's your question. And we asked 100 furries, if you made a commitment to share a room at a convention, but were forced to back out at the last minute, would you still offer to pay your part of the room? How many people said, no, I'd actually find someone else to take the slot? 24? Oh, 6. 60? All right. Eclipse thinks that 60 out of 100 people would get someone else to fill the slot. Sprinkles, do you think that's higher or lower?
No, I'm going to say lower.
Lower than
Yeah.
60. All right. The actual number of people who said if they were forced to back out of a convention at the last minute and they find someone else to take the slot is 25. It is lower. All right, Sprinkles, you've got a lot of ground to make, but Eclipse only has one card to turn. Do you want to try your cards or make Eclipse play his card on the 8?
Now, if I pass to him, does he have the option to change that 8?
He must play on the 8. You have the option of changing your card.
That's a tough one.
Make him play.
Make him play.
Make him play.
Now, if he plays and fails, then I win the round,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Play.
You know what? Let's see how you do, Silent One. You're going to
All right, Eclipse is going to have to try and
Putting
guess
everything on the
this
table.
card. If you get this right, you win this round. If not, Sprinkles wins this round. Do you think it's higher or lower than the 8? Lower.
Ooh.
All right.
All right.
Is this lower than the 8? It is a 4.
Oh!
Congratulations,
Good job.
Eclipse.
Oh,
All right. We'll go ahead and clear the board here.
can I just see what my cards were, just out of curiosity?
All right. Yeah, sure. Let's play them. Eclipse, Higher or lower?
Yeah, go ahead, Eclipse.
Or
Yeah,
sorry.
Higher.
I was gonna say higher for the 4.
All right.
Face card,
Would have been a queen.
lower,
Would have been a 7.
higher.
Would have been an ace.
Oh, you would have won.
Dana would have had it!
And would have been a 6.
Darn!
Wow.
Card is a deuce.
Nice.
Turn it off!
Change it.
All right. The whole thing.
Yes.
All right. And is it higher or lower than the deuce? Higher than
If it's
the
gonna be a
deuce.
deuce, that's gonna be so funny.
Oh man. All right. Higher than a deuce. It is an 8.
Ooh.
You got $400. What do you think on this next card? 50. $50? Lower. All right. $50 lower than the 8. We've got,
No.
Oh,
queen.
nice bet there. Good play.
yeah, cost you $50 for a good card. You're at $350. What do you think?
200.
A higher and 100 lower. All right. $100 lower than the queen. It is a 3.
Oh, that's a good card.
And we'll bring it up to this line. So that was
650.
650 total. Yep. All right. You've got a 3.
Bet it all.
300. All right.
Ah.
Higher. All right. 300 higher than the 3. We have.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh. Well, that brings you down to $300, but you have a very good card. Let's see what you do.
Bet it all.
$200? All right. Higher than the deuce. Is it? It is.
Oh,
So you got $500. What do you think on this card? 100? Lower. $100. Is it lower than the 10?
oh.
Yikes.
So you're down to $400. We're going to bring this card up to the big bet. You must bet at least half, so that's $200. And you have a jack. Do you want to change this card? No.
Keep it.
All right. So minimum bet, $200. What do you think? The whole thing?
The whole thing.
All right.
Ooh.
Lower than the jack. If this is lower, you've got 800.
Yes, they'll be the same.
All right. It is
Oh!
Yay.
won $800. Congratulations. Right,
Yeah,
give
show,
it to you. Right?
show him the money.
Show you the money.
Well done, Eclipse.
Well done. Thank you so much, guys, for playing my first panel of Card Sharks. I'm going to pack up and go to bed now. But I hope you've all enjoyed watching and playing. I'm going to try and play this at other conventions. I hope you'll join me then. Thank you so much.
All right.
I think I
Good
got
job.
the Joker out of that one.